From zero to Ironman, how I started my running journey from nothing till training for an Ironman, and how you can do that too. I started running 3 years ago, and to be honest, I did not want to start, not at all. So I had a friend and he persuaded me to, hey, let's go for a 5K in the morning. And it was so bad. It was so bad. I couldn't do the 5K. I was dying and I found excuses all the time. Like, I need to stop because of my shoe. Because of... So it was very, very embarrassing, this moment for me. And this was actually, when I think about it, more or less the key point where I started with the running. So coming back to what did I do before? I've always gone to the gym once in a while. Well, had some moments with some home videos during COVID. And once in a while, let's say, I don't know, once every 2-3 months, I try to go for a jog. And until that time, I've never really done this. So for me, jogging was always running. It was always... it was an effort and I did not really like it. And I just had a feeling. My genetics are not good. And in my childhood, I should have learned that. And I did not do that, so I cannot do it now when I'm older. And these thoughts, they were actually accompanying me the whole time. So I never thought about starting it again. And then this moment in 2022, I was like, why can't I do that? But I did not know how to start. And I don't know how it's about you, but the moment of I would like to start, but how shall I do that? That's the point. And to that I'm coming later, how you can start it. First, keeping on with my story. So I realized I cannot really run. But okay, well, that was the point. I realized I want to run. That was also a good point. Then I forgot about it again. And a few months later, also in 2022, I had an evening where I went into a bar with some friends and we had a few drinks. And I don't know why we came up with, oh, we need to do some more sports. Tomorrow, on Monday, we're gonna start with doing sports. I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good. And I mentioned I would love to run. I would love to run a half marathon because I lately had a friend who did that and I was amazed. I was standing there on the side and I was cheering. I was like, he must have been some kind of god running a half marathon. So I thought, well, people, let's just sign up together. We're going to run a half marathon together. Because I had the feeling like, maybe that's a motivation. And everyone was like, yeah, let's do that. Well, you can imagine how it turned out. In the end, I signed up for my first half marathon a few months later for Madrid 2023. No one else did. But, well, at least I had at that day an inscription for a half marathon. And I realized, well, apparently now I really need to start with this journey of running, and still I did not run. So what did I do? I put on my sneakers and tried a little bit. But what do I mean with that? I was like once a week, maybe twice, super slow, because my pace was something with 7-ish. I just started, like I said, I come from 0. So I was then able to do 5K with a 7-ish pace, and I started to feel good with it. I started to enjoy it, but then I didn't regularly do it again. And after a month of motivation, I stopped again. And yeah, then a few months later, with maybe 1 or 2 times running, suddenly the half marathon was in front of the door and like, shit, now what shall I do? Do I manage that or not? I've been running a few times, but I'm super slow, and also they have a cutoff time. So, you know, half marathons, some of them, they just say, okay, you have 3 hours and afterwards you're out. And with my pace, I was not sure if I could do that. So even if I would manage the 21K, do I manage that in time? And I know there are probably many people out there who are right now like, oh, that's ridiculous, no one can run that slow, or would have a problem with that. No. If you start from zero, if you are not a runner yet, then it is hard to run faster. So I was really scared. And it was a 50-50 decision. Shall I go or shall I not go? And then I spontaneously decided I will fly there. I will go to Madrid and I will run a half marathon. And I think this was one of the scariest decisions of my life. Also, I went alone because, as I told you, my friends didn't sign up. Luckily, I got some friends already in Madrid who waited in the end at the finish line for me, but the race, that was just for me. So then I came to the half marathon, and in the end, I really made it and finished. And it was amazing. I will do another video about my first half marathon. And what did I do? I enjoyed it. I ran in my pace, in my super slow pace. And with that, I managed to finish. And so, now coming back to how do you start running? The biggest problem is you start and you want to be like everyone else, running fast through the park, in a social run club, whatever. But these social clubs, they have like a pace of, let's say, 5:36 per kilometer. But you're starting right now from zero, you're starting from scratch. And maybe on this day you cannot really run 5K because it's too exhausting. Maybe you haven't eaten enough. Maybe your pace is just not yet matching. And it's nothing more frustrating than starting and realizing so many people around you, they can do that easily. And you're just standing there like, how can I get to that point? And now what my advice for you is, so when you are right now here in the beginning of the journey and you say for yourself, I want to become a runner, then you are already a runner at that moment when you put on your sneakers, go out of the door and start running. And now the point, it's not about the pace, it's not about the distance. In the moment you start, you are a runner. And this helped me a lot in the beginning, that I said for myself, I'm going now to a beautiful place, maybe a lake in a surrounding. And I will run around the lake, maybe 2 times, 3 times, or just 1 time, a big one. And I will not look how fast I go. I will just run in the pace how I feel. And if I can't any longer, then I start walking. And if I feel good again, I keep on running. And this was my hack, how I started to enjoy running. So running should not be suffering for you. It should be enjoyment. You should love it. And that's how I really learned how to become a runner. So I started with, I don't care how fast I am. I don't care if I'm walking. I'm going out either with friends when they have like the same issue and start with you, or I'm just going alone. It is so nice to just be sometimes with yourself in nature and just enjoying. And don't go into zone 5. Like, don't go all out in the beginning, because then you realize you have to stop early, you don't really like it, your body is like, man, why do I have to do that? No, stay really in a slow pace where you could talk, when you can enjoy, listen to music, listen to a podcast, and start with that. So that is my advice for the first moments of running. And the next video, this is gonna be about the, I would say, let's see how many hacks I can make. Around about 5 hacks, but let's see how you can improve the beginning of your running journey. So then I wish you a lot of fun already with your first kilometers. and see you in the next episode where I can tell you everything about how to manage your first runs. See ya!